This devotion is based on Revelation 20, and this is the final chapter before we get into some beautiful stuff, some amazing stuff, a new heaven and a new earth. But this last chapter before that is one of the most hotly contested issues in Christendom, and many clever and intelligent and scholarly people disagree quite differently on one part, and this is the whole timing of this so-called 1,000-year reign of Christ, or called the millennium. When is it? When is the millennium? What happens? Are we in the millennium now? Is the millennium yet to come? Is the millennium after Christ returns? Is it literal 1,000 years, or is it symbolic? What is it? And I've done a lot of study on it myself. I still haven't got it worked out. When I was growing up in the 70s, there was a lot of teaching on this, particularly in one type of view. That was the pre-millennium. You got pre-millennium, amillennium, and post-millennium, but there was a lot of teaching on it in the 70s. Books, diagrams, pictures, flowcharts, all sorts of things. Scripture was interpreted very literally, and as a result, I grew up with this belief that Jesus would come back before I even hit my teenage years, which of course didn't happen. But then the 80s, when I really started to hear, because when you're a kid, you only hear certain things. When I was in the 80s, when I started to hear, it wasn't talked about. So I haven't really got a working knowledge of it from growing up. I have to go back and read on it now. So anyway, let's give a quick summary of the chapter, and you can make up your own mind. Here's the important thing. The whole question about Revelation from the people who first heard its words were, will God come and judge? Because things are terrible for us. And the answer is yes. And the answer is for us today, yes, God will come and judge. So are you right with God? Are you right with Jesus? And importantly, do your actions reflect that your heart is right before God? Because you're actually judged for your actions, not just whether you trust or not, because trust is proven by its fruit. And judgment happens in your actions. Anyway, first thing that happens is an angel binds Satan and throws him into the abyss for 1,000 years, and then he comes back for a short time. The whole idea, no deception from Satan for this period. And this 1,000 years starts this reign of Christ, and some people who lost their lives to their faith will be raised from the dead, just some, and they will reign with Christ for 1,000 years. Then after the 1,000 years, Satan comes out for a little while, does some deception, gathers people together for battle. This massive army gathers for battle, but before they even get to fight, again, God wins without any fighting going on. Fire from heaven falls down and consumes them all. And then after that, the devil is thrown into the lake of fire. And that's the end of him. He's finished. He's gone. He goes to his place of judgment. And then there's the great white throne picture, and that's where all the dead, all of us, every human being who's ever lived, all the dead, all the living, we all come before God, and we are judged according to what we have done. As I said before, our actions are the fruit of our heart, and we are judged according to what we've done. The people whose names aren't in the book of life, which God has written, end up in the lake of fire with Satan, and those who are available to the new heavens and new earth that's coming. The bit I love is verse 14. It says, death and the grave are thrown into that fire. In other words, death and the grave are gone forever. They've been sent away and dealt with and punished as well. So you have a read. Hugely controversial, but also deeply encouraging. And then tomorrow with chapter 21, we get into some fantastic stuff. Enjoy.